This is Petar Stoychev of Bulgaria's 4th Ocean Sevens crossing Molokai Channel, and his date was May 14th. There had been thunderstorms before and after this date, and as you can see, the weather was fantastic this day with very low winds throughout the day. Here's the NOAA chart showing you the rest of the week. Peter, his coach Ivan, and Colby had flown over to Molokai while Kama, Kaimana, and I rode the boat over. We arrived around 9 p.m. with a planned meet at the beach at 2 a.m. Here's us at 2 a.m., really in dark conditions, getting ready for Peter's swim. Kama brought Ivan and all the dry bags out to the boat, and Colby and I just helped Peter grease up and apply sun protection, get his goggles and cap on. When they started swimming, this is all we see from the boat. You have your red lights, really flat conditions, nice easy water as the start rolls out. By 6:30 a.m., you can actually see in the distance how far Peter really is from Molokai. And again, yeah, very light winds and flat water. That morning, nautical twilight was around 5:15 in the morning. And by about 5:45, the sun was already coming up. The plan was to keep Peter out of the trench in the channel in dark hours. So he was on the shelf until the sun rose, and he was off back onto the shelf on the side of Oahu after the sun set. Here he is by just after 8 o'clock. Colby is on his second shift. 51. Hi, Coach Ivan. Ivan's going strong. There's nothing easy about feeding Petar for many hours in water like this. Man, beach 47, breaking over to Oahu. And there you have it. By 9 o'clock, we got a tanker growing across, and by 12:30, again, really nice conditions, low winds, harsh marine conditions insofar as there's swells from different sides, and you can see Oahu in the distance here. By 3 o'clock, it was really starting to become evident that the captain had to completely push Peter south in order to stay on target. And the further he pushed him south, the slower the swim became.
Winds aren't bad. Very loose, 2 up to 10 knots. Southeasterlies primarily.
Here's Colby getting ready for a shift. Here's Kama and Kaimana piloting the boat. And here's Coach Ivan, who fed Peter every 20 minutes throughout his swim. Here's the technique that we would use. As crew chief, I was basically observing Peter as well as just taking films. All right, Peter. This is the Pakios website that basically gives you current predictions every 3 hours. And this started from May 14th at 2 a.m. and went to all the way at 11 p.m. on May 14th. And you can see that there were really high currents that didn't change all day long, which is unusual, regardless of the time of year. Here's his conditions just after 4 o'clock. You can see just how far north we are with Rabbit Island in the background. And here's his graph and his velocity, which started out very high, dipped, and then became high. This is the flat conditions in the bay where he landed. There's a bit of a shore break that's difficult to see with the darkness. As you can see, it's ideal conditions to land on a very sandy beach at Makapu. Peter had Bulgarian friends that were on the beach that night waiting for him. There's a man named Stefan in a green shirt who will come into view. Peter met Stefan over 20 years ago and hadn't had any contact with him until this week, but Stefan was there for him at the finish. Ivan, the Iolani swim coach, wasn't even aware that Peter was coming for the swim, but actually was there for many hours waiting for Peter along with some of his swimmers.
Captain John! I love
This was Peter's longest swim in his professional career that lasted 18 hours and 53 minutes. On behalf of the Hawaiian Channel Swimming Association, I want to thank Peter's friends, Colby Dimsdale, our pace swimmer, and our crew for getting there safely.